It's Wednesday, January 24. In the headlines, $150 million earmarked for each constituency under a new road work program. In business news, JBDC assists 207 informal businesses. Regionally, details on new inter-Caribbean ferry service connect Caribe. And in sports, Jamaican boxer Trevor starts the year with a knockout. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Jamaica boasts the most favorable economic environment since its independence. Those words from Prime Minister Andrew Holness as he delivered the keynote address at the Jamaica Stock Exchange's 19th Regional Investments and Capital Markets Conference on Tuesday. The Prime Minister says Jamaica has now experienced 10 consecutive quarters of economic growth since the COVID-19 pandemic.
Unemployment is at a record low of 4.5%. That's the lowest in our history. Since taking over in 2016, my administration has created 146,700 new jobs. We are on target in terms of our debt to GDP reduction to now reduce our debt to GDP to 74% by the end of March 2024.
He says it is the lowest in the last 25 years. According to Mr. Holness, in 2023, Standard & Poor's upgraded Jamaica's credit rating to a BB-.
Recall that we are coming from CCC rating, and that we spent a decade in the single B category, with the last 4 years at a single B+.
He says for the last fiscal year, 2022-2023, Jamaica recorded a balance of payment surplus on its current account, $352.4 million.
The last time that Jamaica had a current account surplus, can anybody guess? 1966. Our net international reserves are now at a record high of US $4.75 billion as at the 31st of December 2023.
The Prime Minister says his administration has created an environment of fiscal certainty with no new taxes in the last 2 budgets. Jamaica's road networks should be seeing some improvements soon. About $150 million have been earmarked for each constituency under the government's Shared Prosperity through Accelerated Improvement to our Road Network program, the SPARK program. Speaking in Parliament on Tuesday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness said the rollout of the program is scheduled for April 1 this year and will run across the next 2 budget cycles.
Members of Parliament, through the CDF, will be asked to organize community consultation by Parish Council Division with the active involvement of the relevant government agencies to include the SDC, municipal corporations, the NWA, NWC, and the JCF, as well as churches, schools, and businesses. These consultations aim to collect recommendations on the roads to be repaired and their priority order. I anticipate that this consultative process will conclude by the end of March 2024, presenting a prioritized listing of potential road projects organized by constituency.
The Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, attended the premiere of Bob Marley One Love at the Caribe Theatre in Kingston on Tuesday. Bob Marley One Love, hitting theatres on February 14, stars Kingsley Ben-Adair as the legendary reggae artist and Lashana Lynch as his wife, Rita. According to a synopsis, the movie celebrates the life and music of an icon who inspired generations through his message of love and unity. The movie covers Bob Marley's story of overcoming adversity and the journey behind his revolutionary music. Bob Marley was a trailblazer in the development of reggae as a musical genre. The Jamaican culture became more popular because of his music and those of his contemporaries. He used his music and reasonings to push for social reforms while preaching peace, harmony, and respect between people. The name of the movie is from the title of one of his most popular singles. Bob Marley died in 1981, but his legacy lives on. The Jamaica Teaching Council, JTC, in partnership with the Ministry of Education and Youth, will be staging the third Forum for Innovations in Teaching, or FIT3, from January 25 to January 27, 2024. Denita Rodney shares the details on the event.
Operating under the theme Celebrating Achievements and Reimagining Education for the 21st Century Society and Labor Force, the third Forum for Innovations in Teaching, FIT3, will be used to demonstrate the integration of education, medium, small, and micro enterprises, and the information and communications technology (ICT) sectors within the context of the digital transformation journey in Jamaica. Reports are that the forum will showcase what has been achieved and what the direction for the future and how technology can be used to support education. Executive Director of the Jamaica Teaching Council, Dr. Winsome Gordon, said the three-day event will also serve to celebrate the achievements in education since independence, reimagine education in the 21st century, pay tributes to teachers, and launch the Digital Transitioning Program for Jamaica, otherwise known as Digital Jamaica, which is a European Union-funded initiative. For the news on PBCJ, I'm Denita Rodney.
The Petrojam Refinery has a new automotive foam fire truck and ambulance. Minister of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport, Daryl Vaz, who was on hand for the commissioning ceremony, explains that refineries handle large quantities of highly combustible materials and that fires and explosions are constant risks that must be managed, and the processing plants are designed to minimize risks through proper specifications and fire prevention measures. He says foam has proven to be the best medium to extinguish fluid fires, and it typically consists of components of water, foam, concentrates, and air. According to JIS, the Petrojam Refinery currently uses the water fire system as the primary firefighting tool, and the water source is the Kingston Harbour. There are 2 pumping stations adjacent to the harbour that supply water to the fire water system. The automotive foam apparatus is equipped to handle a variety of emergencies, particularly those involving flammable liquids and chemicals. Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Good day, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, your guide through the latest happenings in the world of business. On January 23, 2024, Grace Kennedy Financial Group announced to the Jamaica Stock Exchange the appointment of Kareem Tomlinson as Managing Director of GK Investments, effective November 1, 2023. Tomlinson brings over 14 years of experience to the role, having amassed a track record in investment banking, portfolio risk management, treasury accounting, and client advisory services. Tomlinson also serves as a Director of Key Insurance Company Limited, DRT Communications, and the Limners and Bards Limited. He's also a member of the Global Association of Risk Professionals in the Caribbean chapter, a lecturer at the B&B Institute, and a past president of the Kiwanis Club of Ligoni. Tomlinson holds a Bachelor of Science degree with a major in mathematics and a minor in economics from the University of West Indies. He is also a chartered financial analyst. The Jamaica Business Development Corporation, JBDC, successfully assisted 207 informal businesses in making the transition to the formal economy between April 2022 and March 2023. Through the JBDC's Business Incubator Program, aligning with the agency's commitment to achieving key quality objectives for the fiscal year. Melissa Barrett, manager of the Business Advisory Services Unit at the JBDC, emphasized the importance of business registration with the Companies Office of Jamaica as a gateway to assessing various opportunities. Under the Business Name Act of 1934 and the Companies Amendment Act of 2013, all businesses operating in Jamaica are mandated to be registered with the COJ. While this registration ensures legal compliance, Barrett underscored the need for entrepreneurs to comprehend the ongoing formalization process. Movie theater company Palace Amusement reported that Jamaicans are returning to in-person movies at levels close to pre-pandemic levels. Palace noted that the box office receipts vastly improved across all the cinemas, with an exceptional outturn in the revenues at the Palace Cineplex in the Sovereign Centre in Ligoni, St. Andrew, of 120 million Jamaican dollars earned in 2023, in contrast to the 10 million Jamaican earned in the 2022 period. Palace Multiplex, located in Montego Bay, earned $189 million in 2023 compared to $61 million the year before. Caribe Cinema, located in Crossroads, Kingston, earned $327 million compared to $142 million in 2022. Portmore St. Catherine Bay Sunshine Palace earned $89 million in 2022 and jumped to revenues of $211.6 million in 2023. The New Kingston Drive-In was closed during the 2023 period as the return to indoor entertainment meant that patrons did not wish to sit in their cars to watch movies. During trading on January 23, 2024, the top advancing stocks covered the finance, utilities, and manufacturing sectors on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. ISP Finance Services Limited shares advanced by 26.64% to go up in price by $6.31 to close at $30, with 100 shares traded. JPS 7% shares advanced 17.10% for a $7.18 jump in price to close at $49.18 with 435 shares traded. Blue Power Group Limited shares advanced 9.52% for an increase of 30 cents to close at $3.45 with 10,700 shares traded. On the declining stocks that traders experienced on January 23, 2024, the top three losers covered the distribution, insurance, and transportation sectors. AMG Packaging and Paper Company Limited declined by 16.72% for a 52-cent slide in price to close at $2.59 with 51,000 shares traded. Iron Rock Insurance Company Limited declined by 16.33%, which resulted in a 41-cent drop in price to close at $2.10 with 59,000 shares traded. Knutsford Express Services Limited declined by 15.65% for a $1.94 downward price movement to close at $10.46 with 17,000 shares traded. Over on the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, trading activity for January 23, 2024 on the first tier market registered a volume of 183,000 shares, crossing the floor of the exchange at a value of 4.4 million Trinidad and Tobago dollars. Massey Holdings Limited was the volume leader with 68,000 shares changing hands for a value of 303,000 TT dollars, followed by ANSA Merchant Bank Limited with a volume of 42,100 shares being traded for 1.8 million TT dollars. Moving from the money moves of investors, executives, and companies, on the regional stock markets, we turn to the Forex market. On January 23, 2024, the Bank of Jamaica reported that US $13.6 million was bought from Forex traders, while US $19.6 million was sold to Forex traders. Buying directly from the Bank of Jamaica, foreign currency traders sold the US dollar for 156.14 and bought the US dollars for 154.97. The difference between the buy and sell rate was $1.17, which represents a profit for Forex traders for every US dollar traded. Canadian Forex traders earned a trading profit of $13.41 from transactions with the Bank of Jamaica. The Canadian dollar was sold for $129.12 and bought for $115.71. For traders looking at the British pound, they pocketed a profit of $7.29, selling it for $200.78 and buying it for $193.49. For our credit report tip of the day, when it comes to borrowing, the terms you secure are directly influenced by your credit report. A stellar credit history often translates into lower interest rates and more favorable terms, saving you substantial amounts over the life of loans. Your credit report isn't just a record, it's a roadmap for wealth building. By consistently managing your credit responsibly, you pave the way for favorable financial opportunities, investments, and long-term prosperity. And with that, we wrap up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams. Appreciate your company. Stay well informed, stay ahead of the curve. Until our next update, take care.
In regional news, private sector-led efforts to create a regional transport system interconnecting Caribbean community member states have given life to a new ferry service, Connect Caribe, promising not only passenger movement but the shipment of cargo. On Tuesday, company executives announced the plans to commission 3 vessels for this purpose.
Though the support of respective regional governments was noted, the new private sector-led ferry service Connect Caribe is completely separate from the ongoing work by the governments of Guyana, Barbados, and Trinidad and Tobago to commence a new ferry service among the 3 Caribbean states. And if all goes according to plans, the 3 vessels under Connect Caribe will be dedicated to weekly and daily round trips connecting to Barbados, St. Lucia, Trinidad and Tobago, St. Vincent, Grenada, Dominica, Antigua, Suriname, and Guyana. The vessels will have the capacity to transport up to 8,000 passengers, cargo, and manufactured goods and produce. During a press conference on Tuesday, CEO of Caribbean Israel Finance CIF and the UN Peace Ambassador Andre Thomas said the services that Connect Caribe will provide complement the proposed project by the governments of Guyana, Barbados, and Trinidad and Tobago.
There is a significant discussion on how we can integrate and tackle this huge opportunity and problem. I believe that where there are problems, there are opportunities. And so that's our approach. So there will be significant collaboration in between the service that will be done by the governments and our service.
Recently, President Dr. Irfan Ali announced that a new company will solve the intra-regional transportation woes. Thomas said similarly, Connect Caribe is the private sector response to these challenges, which involves several companies including Ramps Logistics, J&S Cruises and Tours, and Upturn Funds New York. This first phase of the estimated US $50 million project is expected to come on stream during the last quarter of 2024 and will later be expanded to new island routes in the Caribbean Sea. Job creation is factored into the response to the region's shipment issues, and according to Thomas and his team, there will be room for employment at warehouses and on the vessels. The first phase alone will see some 270 persons being employed. Torre Turnsteinson, the CEO of Windward Ferries Limited, is part of the consortium of Caribbean private sector partners pioneering this project, and given his background in traveling this route, he deemed this a great initiative for the first phase of the project.
Traders, travelers, and cargo will find this to be a fast and efficient way to get around. And shippers of cargo will appreciate the frequent and quick transit time.
This company not only responds to the need for quick trips by sea across the Caribbean, but also provides a realistic pathway for businesses to get their products across the region. It involves an e-commerce division that will oversee the network for farmers, businesses, and manufacturers, etc., to sell products to customers from any part of the region.
For Roger Ineos, the new U.S. ambassador to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, addressing climate change is of utmost importance. It is among his top 3 priority areas of attention. He says it remains a top issue for the U.S. allies in the Caribbean.
I grew up on the Pacific Ocean. My hometown is impacted the same way that Barbados is impacted. Okay. So that's number 1. Number 2 is enhancing regional security. We've heard from our partners very concerned about gun trafficking. That's something that I care deeply about. I shared with the embassy on my arrival. My brother was actually killed by gun violence. He was killed in a shooting in Alaska when he was 23 years old. I was 13 years old, and it shattered my family. So I absolutely understand the toll that guns have on families, especially gun violence. So that's number 2. And then number 3 is promoting economic prosperity throughout the Eastern Caribbean. I've heard that from each of the ambassadors that I've met. I met all the ambassadors to the United States from each of the 7 countries that I would be accredited to. Every one of them mentioned the difficulty of travel. You can't run business, you can't advance economies without having good transportation. So that is something that I will absolutely partner with each of these countries and, look for solutions.
In St. Kitts and Nevis, 2024 is a critical year for the transformation of the agriculture sector towards one that is highly valued and should provide significant levels of food security. However, the question is being asked if the Federation will be able to slash its food import bill by 2025.
St. Kitts and Nevis, as a member of the Caribbean community, is committed to the regional program aimed at achieving at least 25% gain in local food crops and fisheries and to begin the reduction in the Federation's food import bill. According to available statistics, St. Kitts and Nevis imported over $197 million in various kinds of foods, a situation that is deemed highly unacceptable and potentially dangerous to the future well-being of the country, say several administrative officials. So, is the Federation likely to achieve its food sustainability goals? According to the agricultural officials on both islands, much effort is being undertaken to bring about that shift, with significant behind-the-scenes actions being undertaken. On St. Kitts, for example, about 32,000 cultural dasheen and pineapples were obtained recently from St. Vincent and the Grenadines as a donation to assist in the food security program here on St. Kitts and Nevis. The greenhouse production program is occurring on both islands, along with the development of a national poultry industry. However, agricultural officials note that success in achieving greater food security by 2025 and beyond must involve both the public and the private sectors collaborating and cooperating. Meanwhile, issues such as insurance and financing for farmers will be among critical challenges to be overcome. Glenn Bart reporting for SKN Newsline.
In sports, we begin in the ring with boxing. Former Jamaican amateur lightweight boxing champion Trevor started the year with a bang. He knocked out Mexican Kevin Beltran Aclier in the 5th round of a fight scheduled for 8 rounds at the Muhammad Ali Museum in Louisville, Kentucky on the weekend. This victory takes his record to 10-0 with 9 knockouts. Trinidad and Tobago's men's under-20 team is currently preparing for the FIFA Under-20 World Cup qualifiers. Head coach Brian Haynes took some time off to chat with TTFA media on the team's dynamics.
Preparing TNT's younger football athletes will always be an important task to ensure continuity. More importantly, this country's national under-20 men's team is currently in prep mode for the upcoming FIFA World Cup qualifiers in February 2024. Head coach Brian Haynes says he is very happy with the progress.
I'm at a point where I can start to see what the team is going to look like. Everybody's not here yet, but all the players who are here in Trinidad and Tobago, they've been doing what they're supposed to do. And I've seen improvements from defending into the midfield and as we go forward. So that's, as far as I'm concerned, all those things need to sharpen up. We haven't been good on finishing, and I think it's something we're going to be working on, but one goal in a game of 90 minutes, it's good so far, but we need to improve and get more goals from it.
Haynes mentioned his method of coaching came as a surprise to the team.
Trinidadian players are naturally gifted players, talented players. However, they don't get, they feel sometimes they get scolded when they make a mistake. I'm not that kind of coach. I'm the kind of coach that's going to encourage their creativity. I'm going to expect them to do creative things in the attacking third. And now, because I think it's something different that they don't normally have a coach saying, go ahead, be creative, do what you have to do in the attacking third. It's a little bit different, but they're having some joy from it. And the one thing I like about the kids is that they're disciplined. They listen to what I ask, and they give it back to me on the field.
The under-20s will face Jamaica in 2 friendlies on January 25th and February 1st as both nations seek to fine-tune their teams. Haynes noted it's coming in a good time.
It's a quality game, and we're going to have to come and give our best effort to show these guys that we can play, not only play, but to win. Because as far as I'm concerned, that's what's going to bring the crowds in the stadium. When they see that we're winning games, they'll want to come watch us. So that's what we're going to come out and do. Work hard, win a game.
TNT will host Group D of the qualifiers comprising of Canada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Dominica from February 23rd to the 28th, 2024 at the Hazley Crawford Stadium.
And that's it for the news on PBCJ. Remember, you can watch us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Pleasant viewing.